Welcome to 2024, and let's see what we have in store for our first, not really, video of the year. You kidding me, right? Son of a Godzilla vs. Destoroyah is a film in the Heisei era of the Godzilla franchise. I have yet to see Godzilla -1, but I heard extremely positive things about it, so I figured why not look at one of my favorite Godzilla movies, especially diving into the most infamous Godzilla monster. No, not that one. Not that one either. You gotta be fucking kidding me, right? No, it's Destoroyah. It's Destoroyah. This movie is well known for being the film that killed off Godzilla. But we're going to dive into the big bad of the film, starting right now. Destoroyah was created as a byproduct of the oxygen destroyer used to kill the original Godzilla back in 1954. The collective of microorganisms lay dormant for years until reawakened by Dr. Kaiju, and when playing around, making something called microoxygen. This kaiju in the end is just a bunch of smaller creatures merged together to make various forms, like several juvenile states and further states that not only grant flight, but to where it is practically unfazed by any extreme temperatures, especially the cold. So, I know that sounds confusing, and it is, because realistically, how the hell are you going to describe a giant monster made up of tiny prehistoric crabs? Anyways, the creature in the film killed Godzilla Jr., which made Papa Godzilla very pissed. And even then, Papa Goji struggled when fighting Destoroyah. Even though Godzilla was weakened, Destoroyah, the lovable kaiju, couldn't deal the final blow, with that being mankind's honor. The main Godzilla dies after a massive case of heartburn, literally melting him from the inside out, even though we see it from the outside in. This infamous kaiju only appeared in his debut film, with chances being slimmer looking at the other adaptations of Godzilla. And is this a bad thing? I say it's not, because it does leave the impact Destoroyah made all the more impactful, because this was, in a sense, its film. But to say this overgrown devil crab didn't fight Godzilla again would be a lie, because they did have a second brawl between the two, along with a three-headed foe joining the beatdown. Most of you wouldn't know this, but there was a 5-part comic series where Godzilla quite literally goes to hell. In issue 4 of the comic series, Godzilla faces off against both King Ghidorah and Destoroyah in a walled-off city, with the wall being nearly indestructible. When Ghidorah and Destoroyah are initially killed by Godzilla, when the king of the monsters has his back turned, both of his infamous enemies are brought back to life, unscathed, and eventually killing Goji several times, with Godzilla still being aware and very much alive each time he dies and is being brought back. Of course, in the media of video games, Destoroyah appeared as a playable character in many Godzilla fighters, with his latest appearance being in Godzilla on the PS4. Oh yeah! Good luck getting the game for a cheap price now, since this was a very limited run internationally. Shit. I know we are experiencing in America Legendary's Monsterverse, when it involves King Kong and Godzilla, with very few returning Toho monsters making a return to the big screen. But in King of the Monsters, they used the Oxygen Destroyer to revive Godzilla after a defeat from Ghidorah. And a small detail I noticed on a more recent viewing is seeing 4 little crustaceans caught in the blast from the bomb. Sure, there is an extremely slim chance in seeing the giant devil crab in the new Empire, but I highly doubt it, since this monster has about as much of a reputation as the Golden Shower Hydra does within Godzilla's arsenal of enemies. When they eventually end the Monsterverse, and if they want to pay homage to the original Japanese end to Godzilla, Legendary. You already have both the cause for Destoroyah's return and a good reason to pay homage to the Godzilla.